Oh, what a beautiful week of NFL football we just had. Seemed to have it all. Blowout wins, upsets, and the best part of it all, a certain co-host was humbled and knocked down a peg or two. That's right. Brooksee's Eagles did their best to impersonate him and not seal the deal when it was time to go home.
Like for real, dude, we're gonna do this already. Go fuck your hat.
Ooh. Well, I warned you guys last week he'd be pretty salty, and so he should be. I can't wait to hear what excuses you have for us this week. Maybe the Eagles might be one of the top candidates for our dumpster fire of the week.
There's no way in hell that they're in that category. I love you, brother, but you're obnoxious as fuck sometimes, and you're fixing to get yourself cut.
Hey, whoa, whoa. I'm not Mark Sanchez, man. I'm not Mark Sanchez. In all seriousness, though, this is why we love the NFL, right? Any given Sunday, baby. And there are officially zero unbeaten teams left. So why don't we just get right into it? This is season 3, episode 6 of the NFLA.
Fucking Mark Sanchez. Well, that cheered me up.
What a
Oh
wild
man.
story that is.
Yeah. Yes, it is episode 3. Sorry, episode 6 of season 3, but it's also, as a side note, episode 50 overall.
Whew.
That's right. We have hit the half century mark in our third year doing this. And while we're not huge on personal milestones, we should take a second to pat ourselves on the back because honestly, 50's pretty cool. And that means 50 weeks of hot takes, huge wins, heartbreaks, and the kind of football analysis, not to mention predictions, that should come with a warning label.
Well, I think it's safe to say we've officially made it longer than most NFL head coaches have a job. So maybe we're doing something right. Maybe we're just pumping stuff out for no reason. But one thing is for sure, it's fun as hell. And who knows? Maybe there's a job on the NFL sidelines for us in the future.
You know what? Well, with as many fantasy football pools as we take part in, dude, we're easily more qualified than probably half the coaches in the league. But I don't even think that's a hot take. That's just facts.
Well, I don't know about coaches, man. I suck at all the X's and O's of football, but I certainly think I could do a little better job than some of the GMs out there for sure.
Well, how about this? Until we land those jobs, let's just keep doing what we're doing here. Bravonians, you're stuck with us. So let's talk week 5.
Sure. Well, start off with kind of a banger game, right? The 49ers versus the Rams. Game went to overtime. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I kind of hate Kyron Williams right now. He
Yeah.
lost the game twice for them. And not only that, knocked us out of the survivor pool. So screw you, Kyron.
How are you going to put the ball on the ground at the 1 yard line? Just
Right?
come on, man. The game is over. Punch it in. What are you doing?
Yeah. You have one job. You had a monster
And
game outside of that, but you had one job.
yeah,
I don't
seriously.
care how well you did.
Instead of
Kyron,
punching it in, he gets it punched out. And
yeah,
this.
Kyron, you nasty. And speaking of nasty, the shot they shot of Mac Jones dry even on the sidelines because his calf was all fired up. Oh man, I didn't think he was gonna make it.
No, no, he didn't look good. But I mean, the 49ers look good enough to get it done. They're 4-1, surprisingly, with as many like they have no one healthy at any given point.
Yeah.
Like, at any
Hey
given
man,
point.
I think they heard you loud and clear, and they're just trying to show you up. They
That
didn't.
might,
You didn't
might
think
be
they're
what it
any
is.
good.
All I got to do is talk shit about a team, and they all of a sudden they play well.
A team that gets a lot of shit talked about them, and the Cleveland Browns overseas treating the fans of London to a early game against the Vikings. And man, the Browns are staying competitive in a lot of these games. It's coming down to the wire, and it took a last minute field goal by Jordan Addison to seal the deal for the Vikings here. So we also got to see the debut of quarterback Dylan Gabriel for the Browns, and kind of mixed review, like kind of what you'd expect from a rookie making his debut, right?
Those Cleveland Browns, yeah, they're staying in games because of their defense. They've got a really strong defense that's keeping them afloat. Dylan Gabriel looked okay though, like threw his first career touchdown pass, managed the offense fairly well, scored in 3 of the 4 quarters, and yeah, I mean, it's not a great team yet, but who knows? Dylan
No,
Gabriel might be able to unlock this team going forward a little bit more than Flacco could.
right? And one thing's for sure, Quinshon Judkins looking like a beast,
Is he ever?
right? Speaking of being beasts, is our boy CJ Stroud back? That's 2 games in a row. Let's go, kid.
Siege.
You know, the Texans made some pretty easy work against the Ravens without Lamar Jackson. So yeah, 44-10, the Texans get a huge win in Baltimore to keep their season alive.
CJ Stroud had 4 touchdown passes and 4 incompletions. Just unbelievable game for this guy. 244 yards, all kinds of poise. 44-10. Houston Texans might finally be turning things around here.
Right? Looking like rookie CJ. And one of the cute quarterbacks that went just above him in the draft, Bryce Young. him and the Panthers take on the Dolphins, and man, does it get any worse for the Dolphins? Held a lead for most of this game, and then they end up losing 27-24 because Carolina mounted a late rally and they overtake Miami. Dude, I think it's just a matter of time before we see the axe fall down there.
Oh yeah, there's going to be heads rolling in Miami sooner than later for sure. And I honestly am not surprised by this result. I'm actually kind of surprised it was as close as it was. I really think Carolina's a far better team, and I think they're going to start rolling here in the future. Bryce is going to start to. It kind of reminds me of last year, that slow start that Carolina had, and then Bryce, once he got his job back, just started rolling. And I really think we're going to see some more wins out of Carolina. They look pretty good here.
So they just got to threaten to sit Bryce again, and he's just going to take off a
That
little
might
bit.
be all it takes. Yeah.
Sure. Well, one guy that I don't see losing his job anytime soon is Daniel Jones. And man, I can't believe the story that we have for him this year. Like, it feels like every week we have to talk about him because how often do you see him get benched in the third quarter because his team is up massively? Now, I know they were playing the Raiders, but man, the Colts won 40-6.
Yeah, and what are you gonna do, right? Yeah, like you play your starters. Like if we're talking fantasy football, you play your guys like Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones, thinking, okay, great, they're gonna pad some stats this game. No, not if they're not if they're up by 7 scores and they're all sitting on the sidelines.
Right? Well, if you just look at the stat sheet and you see Anthony Richardson in there, you're probably like, what the heck?
Yeah, what happened?
When does a quarterback get pulled because he's too good outside of maybe Josh Allen? So Daniel Jones keeping the train rolling.
Yeah. Can we talk about like I know we're going to talk about Jonathan Taylor here for a second because like he's been unreal this year. He
Oh
only had
yeah.
66 yards in this game. He had 3 touchdowns, but we forgot to talk about a standout performance out of Rico Dowdle going over 200 yards on the ground last week for
Oh yeah.
Carolina. I don't know how we forgot to talk about
I
this, but
don't
holy shit!
I don't think anybody saw that coming, but yeah,
No,
what a monster performance. And yeah, this is what you got to do, right? In the NFL, if you want to have a job, you got to take over when the lead guy goes down and Chuba Hubbard's been out. So yeah, here comes Rico Dowdle. And you know what? He was very serviceable last year in Dallas. So if he gets that opportunity, and I mean, if he keeps putting up those kind of monster games, they might even trade Chuba,
Rico Dowdle fighting for QB1 or not QB, sorry, RB1 status,
right?
chasing down Jonathan Taylor. But let's move on from both of those games, buddy, because I
Right.
want to talk about the Giants and the Saints. This pissed me off so much because like how do you bet? How do you make any bets these days? On any games when outcomes like this, like you think the Saints, we talked about the Saints last week and we were discussing whether or not they were going to be the first team to go 0-17.
Right.
And here they go and win their first game immediately as soon as we're trashing them. So
Right. And again, it's turnovers, right? Giants lost the turnover battle. There's a couple fumbles, picks. So whenever that's happening, not a very good recipe for success. And the Saints still have a fairly decent defense, right? It's just the offense that has a little bit of growing pains. But
rookie
and that
blips out of Jackson Dart, right? Rookies are going to turn the ball over sometimes.
oh,
It happens.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And good quote by him at the end. He's like, let's be honest, it's my first loss. It's probably not going to be a last. So let's just keep moving on.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're seeing the development here of that Spencer Rattler to Rashid Shaheed connection. Man, they're
Oh my
just hitting
God.
long bombs all day long. So, a couple cool things that happened out of that. Obviously, just talked about that long bomb to Shaheed. Cam Scatterbo, my boy. Although he did fumble in this one, he threw one of the sickest pancake blocks I think you're ever going to
Did he
see,
ever?
at least for this year so far. But I think it's safe to say like the offense is going to go through Scatterbo while Neighbors is out for the rest of the year here because he had 103 all-purpose yards and getting it down on the ground and in the air.
Talking about getting it done on the ground and in the air, the Dallas Cowboys have,
Yuck.
I guess, started a round into form, and I don't like the look of this at all. I hate Dallas so much, but Dak Prescott, 237 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Javonte Williams went off,
Mhm.
only 16 rushes, but went for 135 yards and a touchdown. The Dallas offense is ranked right near the top of the league again, and I'm not a fan.
They're scoring a ton of points.
Yeah.
And yeah, Javante turning back the clock pre-injury, I guess,
Yeah.
looking like his rookie year here. And yeah, he's on pace for like 1,500 yards or something stupid like that. So who knows? I want to say it's kind of a flash in the pan. It's probably not realistic to expect that all year, but hey, you never know.
Well, I mean, it was also a cake matchup, so take
Yeah.
from that what you will. But yeah, he's still got to show up and 37 points on anybody is pretty impressive. So
Yeah.
fuck you, Dallas, but great job.
Spoiler alert, the Jets might be the dumpster fire of the week,
Oh, they might be.
but we'll get there soon. But on to the next one. And buddy, are you sure you're okay to talk about this
Oh,
one?
fuck. This should not be the Eagles' first loss of the year.
I don't know what you're
You
talking
can't
about.
you
I told
can't
you last
lose
week
to
it was going to
fucking Denver.
happen.
I know, but that's just you trash talking because you hate Philly.
Well, that's
You didn't
just me.
actually think Denver was going to win this game.
I did actually,
No, you didn't.
because you
There's
guys
no
can't
fucking
close
way.
out games. It's like first half, second half, and I did say, well, hopefully it's the second half against the Bucks, and it just so happened to happen a week later. And yeah,
Yeah,
you got
we were
your
up
first
10-3 at
loss.
halftime, and then first drive of the third quarter, within a minute, Jalen was throwing the beautiful little arc to Saquon down the sideline. Saquon scores 17-3. Everything's looking amazing. Philly. And then, yeah, the wheels kind of fall off in the rest of the second half. I don't know why we can only play fucking one half of football, whether it's the first half or the second half. We're only playing one half of a football game right now. And it's very fucking frustrating.
I know what happened. You got a little cocky on the group chat, dropping a D's nuts comment to our buddy Griff, who's also a Broncos fan.
Yeah.
If you've been watching the show since the start, we had Griff on one near the Super Bowl special a couple years ago. But man, man, it's just so humbling, eh, bud? So humbling.
I should not have ran my mouth in the group chat at 17-3.
Oh man,
Wait till the game's over.
I love every second of it. And
Uh,
well, yeah, I mean, obviously Philly's got some things to figure out, right?
Well,
And
and honestly, it's weird because this was one of Jalen Hurts' better games. 280 yards passing, which if you have paid attention to any of his passing, his stat lines this year, 280 yards is monumental for Jalen Hurts because
that's
he's
like
usually just throwing for like 100 yards a
I
game.
know that's like 3 games of production right there.
He was throwing it everywhere. 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw one of them, that one I talked about to Saquon. There was a beauty, just touch throw over the top of the linebacker that was on Saquon, and the linebacker is not going to catch Saquon. And then he had that pretty one to Goddard. But yeah, the defense kind of just let Denver back in this game. I don't really know why. The offense couldn't put up more points after that, but yeah,
Little
shitty.
leaky,
I
little
guess
leaky.
I don't know, man. Like, how do you? I mean, this week coming up is a bit of a get right spot against the Giants, hopefully. But the
Well,
way they're
you
playing
say
right
that
now,
now. You
yeah,
say that now, but
Giants are
feels
playing some inspired ball, and Eagles are not. So yeah,
feels like a trap game.
it could
Feels like a
be. Yeah,
trap
it
game.
could be.
But one game that was also kind of a trap game, I guess, was the Cardinals versus the Titans. And man, if it
Ugh.
wasn't for a rookie move by Amari DiMercado, dropping the ball before he crossed the goal line, this game would have been over well before it was. And Tennessee, super sloppy. I don't even know if you saw that last play. It was dinking and dunking off of everybody, and then just into the end zone for the winning touchdown. Like just so gross. But hey, Titans Titans got their first win.
When you're up 21-6 and you have a rushing touchdown, a long rushing touchdown to make the score 28-6 and essentially put the game to bed, and you're a young guy like Amari DiMercado, what the fuck are you doing not holding on to that football through the back of the end zone? I
Right?
don't care. How do you drop it before the front of the when you're a young player? These are fucking lessons you learn a million times growing up. And this kind of shit, we see it keep happening, dude, in this league, where players are just getting cocky, dropping the ball before they're in the end zone. What are you doing? That game
Right?
is over. And then now you fucking you take a giant shit, dropping that football, and then your team takes a giant shit, letting the Titans back into this game and score, what was it, 15 or 18 points or something like that in the last couple minutes. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? What are you doing? This is the Titans.
Hey, bud, you
Oh
better
man, I
watch
had
out.
high hopes for Arizona this year.
You're gonna get a 100K fine. That's what happened to Jonathan Gannon,
Oh my
chewing him
god.
out on the
And
sideline.
hitting him like he shoved him.
Oh yeah, can't do that.
Well,
Can't do that.
I mean, I get the frustration. Yeah, you definitely can't do that, but you also can't push your player like that. So yeah, you got fined $100,000. Maybe that's a spark though. Like going forward, you look at that moment. It's like Arizona had some high hopes coming into this year, and to now lose 3 in a row and lose like that, something's
You,
got to give.
you think that's ball carrying 101? Do not drop the ball ever, ever. I don't even care.
You carry that shit back with you to the sideline until the ref asks you for it back. I don't care.
Right. Well, one guy that I think never wants to give the ball up is Baker Mayfield. I feel like every week, man, he's just like, you know what? Don't worry about it. We're just going to win this game at
Yeah,
the last minute possible and just rub it in all your faces because,
honestly.
man, that's all they do. It's just dramatic late game drives and helped with that Levante David intercepted Sam Darnold and kind of sealed the win here for the Bucks. But man, like the the Bucks are just wild, man. They play a full 60 minutes. I'll give them credit.
Here's a guy that throws for like 400 yards every
Oh,
week, it
here's a
seems like.
guy.
Now, here's a guy, Baker Mayfield, 4 incompletions on 33 passing attempts, 379 yards, and a couple tutties. One of them to Ibuka, who we've talked about plenty of times already this year. This
Endlessly.
rookie,
Yeah.
stupid numbers, 7 catches, 163 yards receiving, and that tutty. Rookies don't do this.
No.
And Baker is making his rookie receiver look like an MVP candidate as well. So,
Right?
like,
Holy
yeah,
cow.
I might be on board with your pick for Baker.
Hey,
I know it's
I
still early, but
it is still early, but every week he seems to solidify my point more and more, right?
seriously, yeah.
And I we always kind of felt like the offensive rookie of the year was probably going to go to Genty or Hampton or one of these running backs that were so highly touted coming out. But man, if it's not Ibuka at this point, I don't know who it's going to be.
Well, and Seattle's not a bad team. Like Seattle's actually a really good team. They've got a
Oh
solid
yeah,
defense. They can score points. They put up 35. Baker just puts up more.
right.
It's no big deal. So the Bucks are 4-1. And
I'm honestly surprised you guys beat them. Like, and that's not even me chirping.
yeah,
That's
their
just
one
like,
loss is
man,
from us,
the
but yeah.
the Bucks are just a wagon right now.
Yeah.
Baker and Ibuka, you guys nasty.
Totally.
Well, you know who's turned real nasty all of a sudden? The LA Chargers.
Oof,
What
not
is
in a good way.
happening with these guys? They're just spiraling after their hot start. Jade Daniels comes back in this game and led the Commanders to a commanding 27-10 victory.
And Jaden Daniels, yeah, sure, his return is nice, and that's definitely a good thing for Washington going forward. How about Bill Krosky Merritt with the breakout
Woo!
game? 14 rushes, 111 yards on just 14 rushes. That's stupid
You
efficiency.
nasty Bill.
8 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and yeah, Washington looking great, winning huge in LA against the Chargers. The Chargers have dropped 2 straight now. What is going on there?
I don't know. They look all out of sorts. They can't get the passing game going. Running game's taking a hit because they lost Najee. And now, bad news coming out for the Chargers once again is they just lost rookie standout running back Marion Hampton as well.
Yeah,
So he's placed on the IR now with a high ankle sprain. So he's gone for a minimum 4 games. And you have to think any chance that he had a offensive rookie of the year is kind of now gone for him too. And it's just too bad because he was really starting to find his groove last week. And yeah, you hate to see it.
he's so good. He's so explosive that's huge loss for the Chargers. This really hurts them. So now they're gonna have to just gonna go by committee with Vidal and Haskins, I guess, until hopefully it's just the minimum 4 week stay for Hampton on the IR. But yeah, Chargers
Yeah.
reeling, buddy.
Chargers be charging.
Chargers be charging. You know who else is charging? Those fucking Detroit Lions. They
Ooh,
put a
baby.
wallop. I mean, the score wasn't really as kind of indicative as how one-sided this game really was.
Yep.
But yeah, Lions beat the Bengals 37-24. The Lions go to 4-1. Those Bengals have lost, what is it, 3 straight now? They're 2-3 after
Yep.
starting the year 2-0. And they've made a change. Obviously, Jake Browning is not the answer.
Nope.
So the recently cut from the Browns, Joe Flacco signs on with the Bengals, and he's going to start this week, week 6. I guess he knows enough of the playbook after 2 days in Cincy to start. So we'll see what
No,
Joe Flacco can do this week. But
you know what's better than Jake Browning? An older version of Jake Browning, chucking up
exactly.
picks. You know what's kind of funny though? I
An
saw a
older,
lot of
less mobile version of Jay
right.
Browning. Yeah.
I saw a funny thing by like a Packers fan. Like, great, we just lost to Joe Flacco with the Browns, and now his first game with the Bengals is against the Packers. So,
Exactly.
hey,
Yeah.
I'd love to see it if the Packers lose another one. But yeah, you're right. The score ended up getting a lot closer. There was some garbage time touchdowns for Jamar Chase in there, but I think oddly enough, this game would have been far out of reach if it wasn't even for the Bengals defense. Like they got to Goff, I think it was like 5 times,
Yeah.
which I mean, we hadn't given up a sack in like 3 games. So for the Bengals defense to get through there against our O line was kind of perplexing. But Taylor Decker didn't play in this game, protecting the left side, so a little bit weaker on that side for this game. But you know what? It's just one of these things, and like I said, we kind of knew how this game was going to go. We talked about the Bengals being the dumpster fire of the week last week. Kudos on them for making it look a little bit closer. But when your quarterback's throwing 3 picks, you get safetied by
Yeah.
Derek Barnes at the end of the game. Like it's not going to go well, especially against that offense. You can't give us plus field position and expect to do well.
No, but like you said, bit of an inspired performance by the Cincy D, and maybe that's what they need to maybe turn the ship around a little bit, get
Yeah,
Flacco in there, get things calmed down a little bit more, and hopefully that defense can kind of get playing at least decently, halfway decently. So
right,
Detroit, though, how about this? Goff, 4 incompletions himself. That's
right.
pretty efficient.
Yeah,
258 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. But you know who else threw a touchdown for the Detroit Lions? Your new QB1, David Montgomery.
aka Knuckles.
On
And
the
you know what?
sideline, he's mic'd up and he's talking about how he should be the QB. It was fucking hilarious, dude.
Right? Well, I guess he used to play it in high school. They show clips of him, and he was basically like Jalen Hurts. Says, "I'm just going to run the ball." He's like, "We didn't rely on my arm. I just ran the ball." But Dave Montgomery was probably my favorite story for this whole game because he's from Cincinnati. It was his first time playing in Cincinnati since being in the NFL.
Yep.
His sister was in a massive car accident last year and became paralyzed. She was in a wheelchair. She was at the game, and they had a kind of touching moment beforehand where, he was saying hi to her. But yeah, he threw for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown. It was the Demo show in this game for sure, and you love to see it. So you nasty Demo, not a boy.
Demo, the utility knife for the Detroit Lions offense. And if we're going to talk about utility knives, how about the Patriots wide receiver Stephon Diggs, who everyone thought this guy's career was over. And here he is in New England catching Drake May passes like crazy. 10 catches, 146 yards. Stephon Diggs, where you been, bro?
All he needed was a game against the Bills, get a little revenge.
Oh, man. He
See him
looked great.
staring
Drake
them
May
down.
looked great, knocking off the previously unbeaten Bills. Love it.
Hey, and yeah, and I don't think anybody saw this coming, right? I
Oh,
knocked out numerous people out of our survivor pools.
yeah.
I'm sure there was a ton of money on the Bills. So I'm just going to start researching what teams have the most money bet on them for the week. And I'm going to do the complete opposite because I just think, not that I think anything's rigged, but I don't think the casinos are letting this happen. So
I
there's always something going
That's what
on
it
here.
was then. That's what because I took Arizona in Survivor in one of my and that's why they lost because all the I figured it out now. Yeah,
it's,
there you go.
it's clearly the only reason.
That's it. Yeah,
But hey, it's amazing what happens when you take care of the football. And I mean, Ramondre did have another fumble in this one.
yeah, he
I,
did.
I just love all the Patriots fans. They're like, so what's it really going to take for them to use Travion Henderson? Because like Ramondre fumbles again, Gibson's hurt, done for the year now, and you still don't want to use Henderson. So what's going on here?
Ramondre Stevenson had 7 rushes for 14 yards. 2 yards a carry, but he also had 2 touchdowns. So saved your week if you have him in fantasy. Those 14 yards look like shit, but the 2 touchdowns will help you out.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's safe to say pretty wild week in the books, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more of those on the way. So why don't you say it's time to move on a little bit? And
Yeah.
it's a segment that we're going to do weekly. Well, maybe I'm going to do weekly, and Bradley can chirp in here and there when he wants to. But we're going to go back to the dumpster fire of the week. For me, it's kind of like what really grinds my gears segment. And for me, it has to be the Jets, right?
Yeah.
I know I gave a little spoiler earlier, but they're the only winless team remaining. No matter how many times things change, they seem to stay the same, right? And personally, I love watching any New York team suck, especially watching
Yeah.
the Yankees get knocked out last night. That was
Fuck yeah, go Jays.
let's go Blue Jays.
Woo!
But it's safe to say, and I mean, you don't even have to be a fan of them to know that their fans are just always so ragey in New York. It doesn't matter what team it is, they just expect them to all be fantastic.
Yeah.
And when they're not, they just blow a gasket. But I'm convinced that if you want to show someone you really dislike them, you just get them a ticket for a Jets game. Here you go. Just go have some fun.
That's
And
cruel though. It's
right, definitely cruel and unusual punishment. And I'm pretty soon, I think New York is just going to pass a law that it's going to be illegal to charge any money to go see these games because man, it is such a god awful product.
They're gonna have to start paying fans to come to games. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
I always want to give a new coach some slack in their first couple of years. And Aaron Glenn is a first time head coach. And I don't really know how much of this falls on him, but my God, for a defensive coach and a team that's supposed to have a pretty good defense and be your strength, they don't even have one single takeaway in 5 games. Like, how's that even possible?
It's
You can't
not.
get you can't get one pick or one fumble out of somebody. Like
It's
that
literally
is
a unicorn
brutal.
stat. Like, there's no way that that's possible if it doesn't just happen once in a fucking blue moon. Like, that's not something you could ever bank on happening. That's just,
Right.
there's no way.
Sure. And dude, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but over the last 3 years to this point,
Yeah.
they only have 12 wins. 12 wins in 2 years and 5 games. That is absolutely disgusting. And to be truthful, like if you look ahead at their schedule, they might legit go like 0 and 14 this year before they get their first win.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. And that is less than pathetic. It's
So we've
kind
moved
of
on from the Saints that now we're talking Jets
yeah, I
potentially
think
going
maybe
winless.
Jets
Okay.
might potentially be the first team to go 0 and 17.
Well, you heard it
And
here first. The Jets are winning this week now. So
right, yeah, yeah. Lock your bets in, guys,
lock
because
it in. Yeah.
Calvo can't pick a dog right to save his life. So locks, I'm not doing too bad. I am kind of locking in Denver. I picked them in Survivor this week. So if Denver screws me against the Jets, I'm going to be hella salty next week. But I think it's safe to say that, yeah, the Jets are pretty dumpster fire esque. You reek of hot garbage and you nasty.
There you have it. That's what grinds Calvo's gears with his dumpster fire of the week. So let's move on. Let's talk some week 6, buddy. We got some hype matchups coming up,
Oh,
and
man.
if you're not fully torqued for football, you're not a true fan. So
Yeah.
I'm
Leave right
rocking a
now.
half Chubb here talking about we got Kansas City Chiefs, we got Detroit Lions coming up. This one should be a banger. We got my Eagles coming up tonight actually against the Giants on Thursday Night Football. We got a nice little slate of games coming up this week, dude. So what do
Yeah.
you want to talk about here first?
Well, let's start with your game.
Okay.
It's obviously a classic NFC East rivalry. Probably expect a pretty physical, high emotional game, right? And like we've preached all along, like yes, on paper, Philly's probably the way better team and have no business losing this game. But when it comes down to these divisional matchups, you can't really count it out. Like,
No.
hey, New England pulled it out last week and nobody thought they could get it done,
Yep.
right? We boldly took the Rams to beat San Fran because San Fran was badly beaten up, and look what happened there too. So
Yeah.
again, anything can happen. But
Any
how are
given
you
Sunday,
feeling?
right? Or Thursday.
Hey, and when you get on these nationally televised games where you know everyone's watching, guys tend to get up for it, right? So
Totally.
how do you feel going into this one? I know like obviously you guys are coming off a loss and there's going to be some like get right emotions into this one, but are you feeling a little bit nervous that maybe the Giants defense hasn't been playing that bad and could maybe get you?
I am a little bit nervous because I think momentum in the NFL is a huge thing. And I think it doesn't always matter how good you are on paper. It kind of really matters what have you done for me? This is a what have you done for me lately league. And the
Mhm.
Eagles are coming off a tough loss against a Denver team that they probably should have beaten. The Giants are also coming off a loss. However, they're definitely coming off a loss against a team they for sure should have beaten. So I think they're going to come out angry. You can't lose by 12 points to the Saints and not be pissed off. So yeah, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo come out and just, exciting whites just fucking blast off all over us here. So
Oh, phrasing?
are we not doing phrasing anyway?
I guess not. Well, I think another team that's going to be a little pissed off is the Kansas City Chiefs. They lost in kind of embarrassing fashion on Monday. Kind of a short turnaround for them, right? But they've got the Monday nighter against my Detroit Lions, and I think it might be safe to say that Detroit's going to make KC go to 2-4. That'd be pretty sweet,
And it's in KC too. So I mean to lose in front of your home fans in Kansas City at Arrowhead to go to 2-4 when this is a team that's like perennial Super Bowl candidates. It's
right?
kind of
Well,
looking like the Ravens, there's like these powerhouses just kind of falling apart this year. It's weird to see. I
right.
mean, I
Well,
love it. I love seeing KC fall apart. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
right. Well, who doesn't?
yeah.
But I think you know, we have beaten them in their own house before. So it's one of these things and it's our most recent defense that did it too and we've only gotten better since that happened. So we'll see. Obviously anything can happen, but
I
again,
mean,
I
I'm
think
not too worried about the Kansas City Chiefs mentally. Like, I think they're fine. I think Travis Kelce doesn't care anymore. His fiance's writing songs about his dick. So, he's good.
my point's proven here.
Life is good for Travis Kelce and his wood.
And it is what
There we
gross.
go.
Well, one game that has potential to be one of the games of the week, but I don't really know how it's going to go, is the San Fran 49ers versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
On paper, fire matchup, but again, Purdy's not really practicing, so we're gonna get the Mac Jones show again if he's healthy enough to go. He was laboring by the end of that game and not looking too hot. And of course, we got Tampa Bay that's riding pretty high right now. So it does have some playoff vibes to it, don't you think?
I really think it does. Yeah, this is one of those games where it's like, eh, I mean, I've been talking for a year and a half now about how much I don't think San Fran's very good, but they keep proving me wrong, and they're sitting at 4-1 right now. If they start to get healthy, Tampa, is going to start to get a little bit healthy. They're also sitting at 4-1. Like this is a huge matchup this week to kind of decide who's a front runner in the NFC.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's a pivotal game, especially because they're two NFC teams that are near the top of the standings, right? So
Yeah. Well, buddy, speaking of hype matchups, we've got a 3-2 Seahawks team that I think they look a little better than their 3-2 record would indicate. They're a solid team. They're going into Jacksonville, who's playing kind of above expectations right now. Jacksonville, well, not above mine, obviously. I picked Jacksonville to win the division. I'm looking good right now. Jacksonville sitting at 4-1 after they beat the Chiefs last week. Great game, loved that, and yeah, Duval County getting it done. Kind of similar teams. I'm really excited to see how this one plays out because they're kind of similar teams, middle of the road offenses. Seattle's kind of propped up by their passing attack, whereas Jacksonville is kind of propped up by their rushing attack. Travis Etienne is having a year so far, and both teams pretty strong on defense against the run. The one thing that I really like to see is Jacksonville 3-0 at home, and they're putting that 3-0 record on the line against Seattle coming into Jacksonville. Yeah, Jacksonville could be 5-1 after this.
which
Love
is
that.
pretty crazy because
Yeah.
they always make it look so hard, even though they're winning. At least in my opinion. I mean, that game against the Chiefs, a lot of things went their
Every
way, I
win
think.
is just a labor.
Right? But yeah, you're right. Both teams like to run the ball. I think Seattle's probably a little stronger at passing the ball,
Yeah.
but yeah, it should be a pretty low scoring affair, I would assume, especially if both teams are trying to get the running game going. It's going to chew up a lot of clock.
Hmm.
But yeah, being in Jacksonville bodes well. But I think those Seahawks they're a little bit of road warriors there, so should be a pretty good matchup
Yeah, man.
on Sunday. And another matchup that should be pretty stellar is the first of two Monday nighters. NFL doing that to us again, making us stay up way too late to watch these games.
Yeah.
But the Buffalo Bills versus the Atlanta Falcons, and obviously Buffalo's coming off a tough loss against New England. They're going to want to get back on track, and we're kind of seeing this like flip floppy Atlanta team, right? So it'd be interesting to see how they can stack up against this Bills defense.
Has Buffalo played a game not in prime time yet this year? Like it feels like they get
I
the
don't
the
think
Sunday
so,
or the Monday nighter every fucking week. But I
right?
mean, you want to put your better teams on display. I get it, NFL. That's obviously why you send Cleveland overseas to to grow the game. You want your best.
Oh yeah,
Fuck you,
absolutely.
Cleveland. But yeah, no, Buffalo coming off their first loss, and honestly, Atlanta, you never know what you're going to get out of them any given week. So I mean, Buffalo could lose two in a row here, buddy. I kind of like Atlanta's chances at home.
Again, I think it'll come down to the turnover battle, right?
Yeah.
And Atlanta is a little bit guilty of doing that at times, whereas I think Buffalo takes care of the ball a little bit more. But you never know how it can go. James Cook kind of disappeared last week, so expect a rebound game from him. And
Yeah.
I don't think Josh Allen really loses two in a row, so it'll be quite the matchup.
He doesn't often, but I think a lot of it's going to come down to Michael Penix and how he's able to kind of acquit himself against that, it's veteran Buffalo defense at this point. So, uh,
Sure.
yeah, him and Bijan, I can see him going off. I'm going to call Atlanta wins this game.
Woo, there's a hot take by Bradley.
Woo!
Well, those are some of our hype matchups for week 6 coming up here. Maybe you agree with us, maybe you don't. Drop a like and a comment down below
Let us
if you
know.
are, and let us know who you like for this week, and maybe we'll ride your coattails.
Speaking of riding coattails, in light of the fact that we've reached our 50th episode, I decided, we should come up with a new segment. This won't be an every week segment. This will be just kind of a once in a while type of thing. But riding the coattails of Would You Rather, one of our favorite segments, I've got Pick Your Poison, where I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios, but I'm going to pick the poison for you, the thing that I think that you'll like the least, or that's going to torture you the most.
Sure.
So here's a couple of situations here. So your team loses on a 99-yard pick six in overtime in the playoffs.
Okay.
You lose your fantasy championship by point 0.1 of a point,
Ooh.
or You have to cheer for the Green Bay Packers for an entire season. And I
Oh,
think the one that would hurt you the fucking most is I want to say the 99-yard pick six, but you're used to heartbreak with your Lions. So
always.
I don't know that that would crush you as much as having to cheer for the Green Bay Packers for an entire season.
You're right. I don't think I could.
Yes.
Like, I probably wouldn't even watch football at that point. And truthfully, I was in a championship once, but I lost by 0.10 of a point.
Oof.
So point 0.1 would sting, I think, a little bit. Well, I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah,
So
it's the same.
my brain's not mathing. But yeah, so I have been there and have experienced that before. And at least there's like a consolation prize usually when you make the championship. Definitely that 99 yard pick six in overtime in the playoffs would be. I I would be one of those Dallas Cowboy fans. I need a new TV the next day if
Yeah,
that
exactly.
happened. But I feel like I could probably pick the same poison for you, but I got maybe a different one here for you.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we'll keep the 99-yard pick six in overtime. I think
Oof. Okay.
that stings anybody, and
Oh
that
my
might be a
God.
hard choice for you. Next one, the Eagles go 0-17, but you get the next big thing, whatever that might be. Receiver, quarterback,
Okay.
defensive player, but like generational talent, right?
But I gotta watch them go in 17 first.
Got to watch them go 0-17.
Okay.
And trust me, I've been there. I've also seen them more recently, the first year Dan Campbell go a full year without winning.
Oh,
Legit full year without winning.
yeah.
The third one I got for you, Jalen Hurts goes down. Okay. Backup quarterback situation's not working out. Think about it like Jake Browning's situation.
Yeah, yeah.
You are in this hypothetical situation guaranteed to win the Super Bowl, but you got to cheer for Dak Prescott
Oh,
because
oh,
the Eagles go out and trade for him
oh,
to guarantee their chance to win the Super Bowl.
oh. I don't want to win a Super Bowl in that case.
Dak finally gets his ring, but you got to cheer for him as an Eagle.
Oh, Dak finally gets his ring, but it's with us. Oh, what do you think I'd like the least out of those? What's my fucking poison?
I I want to say it's actually 0-17 because I think regardless you're still winning a championship, but
Yeah.
I can understand. I mean, I think about it if like Daniel Everson ever got traded to the Leafs, I'd want to vomit everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But am I right? Am I wrong?
I think you're right. Like honestly, the 99-yard pick six in the playoffs in overtime would fucking sting. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. But I've seen my team win the Super Bowl twice, right? So it would sing a little bit less in light of that. The fact that I'd have to cheer for Dak on my Eagles would fucking suck too. But if we're winning the championship, I guess I could live with it. The 0-17 would kill me.
Could you imagine though, that's the only way he could get his ring? And it's like,
Oh fuck,
uh,
man. No, thank you.
so you would rather see Dak just squander in misery and never
Yes.
win a ring than to let him do it on the Eagles.
Yes.
Wow,
100%.
the hate runs through you, my
The
friend.
hatred just never it does there's no cap.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, trust me. 0-16, 0-17. I mean, either way, they're equally terrible, and
Yeah.
it's a hard thing to experience. And like, I'm always that type of fan where you're like, okay, well, yeah, we kind of suck, but I really like to see the progress of this player, or like there's some hope. When
Yeah.
it's like 0-16, man, there's like no hope. Like
Nothing
you're
to look
just like
forward to. Because
there.
you're like, even if we win one game next year, it's an improvement. And that's probably what'll happen. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh
So
man.
hey, excellent, excellent.
Solid, solid. I like that.
You know what? I know we've in the past we've kind of done a who would have thought, and let's just say who would have thought we'd reach 50 episodes?
Not me.
It's pretty
No.
sweet.
That's pretty sweet.
It's
That's
pretty
pretty sweet.
sweet.
Well, I mean, who would have thought we'd be here at all, right? So yeah, 50 is pretty great, man.
Hey, for two lazy fucks, I'm surprised we made it this far.
That's for two guys with zero work ethic.
Here we
If we
are.
get to another 50, man, this is crazy. This
I
is some
know.
kind of run. Put us in the Hall of Fame or something.
Yeah, please don't tell our bosses they'll expect a lot more out of us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
These guys put in work when they're at home. What the fuck?
Sure. Well, speaking of putting in work, why don't we move on to our locks and dogs? And
Let's do it.
this is the segment that we always like doing. It usually allows for the most chirping between us. And dude, I'm on a bit of a tear right now. 5-0
You're crushing it with your locks this year,
on my
dude.
locks. Dogs, little room to be desired here, but
Not good.
got my first win last week on those locks, and so this week, or sorry, on my dogs.
On your dogs, yeah.
But this week for my lock, I think they're going to rebound. Tough loss last week in overtime to San Fran. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams.
Rams to move Calvo to 6-0 for his
Yeah.
locks. Okay, I like it.
Who do you got for your lock?
I'm gonna go. See, I fell to 3-2. I took Arizona. They somehow blew that game, like we talked about earlier. I don't know how you lose that game, but they lost that game. So I fall to 3-2 with my locks. I am gonna rebound this week. I know I said I'm a little bit scared, possible trap game, but I'm gonna go with my Eagles. I have to go with my Eagles. There's no way, absolutely no way they lose this game to the Giants. Um,
He's feeling bold, folks.
yeah,
He's feeling
there's no
bold.
way. So I'm gonna go Eagles to move me to 4-2 with my locks. They're gonna get the job done against the Giants tonight.
Oh, but I'd hate to see you go to 500 next week. Let's just put it that
There's
way.
not a chance that happens.
It's crazy what happens when you don't take those layups every week, right?
That's right. We got to
Sure.
fight
Well,
for it now.
who do you got for your dogs? I mean, I will say it's pretty impressive what you're doing with the dogs. So I feel like that's way harder to
I
predict, right? But
appreciate that.
you're
Dogs are
four
hard to do. Yeah.
you're 4-1 on your dogs, and
Yeah.
so who's going to move you to 5-1?
I took the Commanders last week to get me there. I'm going with, I was going to go with Panthers over Cowboys. I have a really good feeling about the Panthers winning this game against those Cowboys, but I'm going to go with, call it a layup. I'm going to go with Seattle. I think they are, yeah, I think they get the job done against Jacksonville. It's in Jacksonville. I know I said I think Jacksonville will probably win, keep that perfect record at home alive, but I don't know. I got to go with Seattle for my dog. So that way I'm a winner either way. I love Jacksonville, so if they win, great. If Seattle gets the win, then my dog wins. So there we go.
That's fair. That's fair. Well,
What
for
do you think
me,
for your dog? You're 1-4 this year, dude.
I'm
You
1-4.
finally got off the schneid last week.
Yeah, I got to climb back in this, and maybe this is cheating a little bit, and maybe just a little bit of bias, but I'm going to take my boys, the Lions, on the road in Arrowhead. We've already done it once before. Chiefs are like 2.5 point favorites, which I don't really understand how that's the case. I guess that's a little Chiefs favoritism there, but I think my boys got a good chance to go in there and embarrass them a little bit.
I see. I don't like this. I don't think that that's fair. How is Detroit the fucking underdog? How is
Uh,
Detroit the betting, not the betting favorite here? Casey's 2-3. They just lost to Jacksonville. Detroit's 4-1, one of the powerhouses of the entire league. I don't understand how Casey is a 2.5 point favorite here, but
I don't make the
and
rules, dude.
you don't make the rules, so
I don't
hey,
make the
I
rules.
guess I have to allow it.
Hey, if something swings between now and Sunday, then maybe it looks a little cheaty. But hey,
Yeah. So Calvo gets a little bit bold. Gets his first win with his dogs, and he's putting it on the line with his Detroit Lions this week. So there's our locks and dogs this week, folks. I think that's pretty well going to do it for us. I think we should wrap for this week. But man,
absolutely.
50 episodes. So
Whew.
that's I gotta check my math again. Counting is hard, but that means 49 episodes of you all not only making questionable life choices, but also coming back for more.
Yeah, and there's a lot of podcasts, let's be real, that don't make it this far. It is a lot of work to come
Mhm.
at you every week. And I know we're not doing it every single day, but even these weekly things, there's a lot of games to comb through, storylines, picking out the best ones, coming up with this different segments. And
Mm.
we hope that you all appreciate the content. And if you do, again, please just drop a like, comment, and even share. Let's help grow this channel out. We do love doing it. Obviously, we don't want to be doing it for no reason. So
Yeah.
thanks so much for listening in, even if some bad football takes along the way.
Well, I mean, I'm sure the fans love tuning in to watching me, to watch me melt down when the Eagles lose. But I
Even
only
if they
melt down.
don't, I love it. And I'm probably the cause of half of it.
That's
Just
it. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of weeks I hate fucking sitting here talking to you for sure. So, but I only melt down when the
Hey,
Eagles lose, and they only lose because of bullshit,
right.
honestly. So,
I love that meme that's like the reason my team loses, and it's like a pie graph, and it's like 99% bullshit and like 1% because the other team was better.
yeah. Or bullshit, but in yellow.
Yeah,
Also bullshit,
bullshit.
but
Bullshit, but in yellow.
well, needless
Great.
to say, the Bravonians probably have not seen their last temper tantrum.
Oh, that's probably very, very accurate.
Yep.
And you know what? It's about time I get to give it back to you guys because for so long I was the one taking all the shit from all my buddies because you know what? Detroit sucks so bad. And now finally get my flowers a little bit. I gotta be the obnoxious person now. But God, I do absolutely love when Philly loses. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, when they lose, I fucking love when these episodes are over and I don't have to see that smug face of yours for another week. But
Uh,
yes, folks, here's to another 50 episodes of pain, I guess profanity, and pretending we're literally right about anything because we're usually not.
right. And if we don't make it to 100, at least please remember us for the few good takes that we had along the way, and maybe some fantasy trophies too. And hopefully, if you've coattailed our locks and dogs, you've been up a few bucks over the years too.
We've had a few good takes over the years for sure, and I know hopefully there's enough room on our podcast tombstone when it does die to etch those things in there. So until next week, for Calvo, I'm Brooksee. Don't forget, like he said, to like, comment on these episodes. You can subscribe. You can follow us on socials. You can stalk us. You can mail us little trinkets that have locks of hair and toenail clippings. You can send us death threats when we don't reply to your marriage proposals. All the things, the usual things that fans usually do when they're obsessed with talented celebrities like us. We're here for it. We're ready. We're ready for the Taylor Swift treatment. But until that day comes, we roll on business as usual. Episode 51 next week. You stay classy, Canada.
Who the fuck are you, Ron Burgundy? All of a sudden, stay classy, Canada.
I wish I could grow a mustache.
I wish you could too. You look hella awesome with a mustache.